Hello, everybody. It is Captain Marty Brill here. Thank you for joining us on Monday, December the 1st. We're rolling into a whole brand new month, probably one of my favorite months of the year. Although I kind of like April in garden season, also kind of like November in deer season, and October in deer season, September in deer season. So I guess I kind of like them all. But there's some fishing going on. Some of it's pretty good. I'll tell you all about it when I come back.
At the south end of Roanoke Island, in a quiet little village, lies a marina known for having one of the finest fishing fleets on the Outer Banks. Whether it be an offshore excursion, a nearshore charter, or headboat fishing, Wanchese Marina is where to go. Wanchese Marina is a full-service marina, complete with a fueling dock, bait, tackle, ice, and the Landing Grill restaurant. All of this is just a few minutes from some of the finest fishing spots around. Book online at wanchesemarina.com. Wanchese Marina, 4457 Mill Landing Road, Wanchese.
Surrounded by water, Currituck and the people of the Outer Banks have been shaped and defined by its rich and coastal maritime history. The Currituck Maritime Museum tells the story of Currituck's boat-building forefathers, their remarkable craft, and the legacy they left behind on how to live life and thrive on the waters of the Outer Banks. Discover the Maritime Museum in historic Corolla Park, across the street from the Currituck Beach Lighthouse, and visit us online at currituckmaritimemuseum.com. Be a part of the local history at the Currituck Maritime Museum.
So offshore fishing, the Hatteras fleet, they've been having a little bit of a roll going on down there. Variety is the spice of life in Hatteras, whether you're out on a boat or hanging around the community. Great place. One of my favorite places where I started my offshore fishing career in 1975. One day out of high school in Florida. So those guys had really good catches of big king mackerel on live bait. That's fun fishing. Live bait, the boats, you're not trolling, so the boat pretty much stops. They use whatever they can catch live. They put them down and they catch these big king mackerel on light tackle. And sometimes it's just really cool. The strike can be good. They'll skyrocket on a bait, meaning they'll leap out of the water. But anyway, it's very good. And they had a good catch of blackfin tuna as well. Actually, very good from the pictures that I saw and the people that I've talked to. 25-pound average, and you put a dozen nice big king mackerel and 15 or 20 blackfin tuna on the dock, and some of them had some big bluefish as well. That's a good day of fishing. Now, in the Oregon Inlet fleet, I could not find a confirmed report of what happened. I did talk to Captain Barry Daniels on the end game out of the Oregon Inlet Fishing Center, and Barry said he was hanging Christmas lights and doing family stuff. He wasn't even aware if anybody went out of there today, and I really couldn't find anyone else to confirm it. But what I do know is they got blown out on Saturday, but ahead of that, they had some pretty good blackfin tuna fishing still, just like down in Hatteras. And they were good quality blackfin tunas, 25 to 30 pounders. Those are big blackfins. They'll still be out there. We're still in for should be still in for a good blackfin tuna bite right up till Christmas. Then once we jump over into the new year, it'll be the hunt for the giant bluefin tuna is on. That's what's putting the Outer Banks on the map, on TV, on Wicked Tuna, all of those things. Tuna up to 800 pounds. Just really incredible. There's a lot to see and do for that bucket list fish, but not all of them are 800 pounders, of course. And you can go out and catch some smaller ones, like a small one would be 200 to 400 pounds. So think about it a little bit. A lot of fun. People come from all over the world to do that. So if you book a day, you need to get them booked as soon as possible. Piers and Surf Report is getting a little more scattered, but we still have scattered red drum on the piers that are still open, and at Cape Point is mostly what I've been hearing, but it's a little bit hit and miss. What we do have in really good numbers is a great sea mullet bite continuing, just like what we left you with last week. Sea mullet bite on Hatteras Island, up and down the beach, and I heard of all kinds of options, but fish bites were good. Fresh shrimp has been good, but the synthetic bait seems to be really good. And you know what? My nephew was here today and told me he's using a synthetic shrimp, and I forgot the name of that thing, but he says he's having really good luck with that. I think it's an actual, looks like a shrimp, in other words, full-bodied, not a shrimp fish bite, which is a chunk of bait. So anyway, but he had mentioned that he was catching puppy drum and sea mullet on that, and a few flounder, by the way, so that's kind of important. As far as I know, the ramps are still open on Hatteras Island, but you do want to check your pier schedules before you drive a long distance to go fishing on a pier. Some of them are doing very reduced hours. Some of them are closed. So you just have to make sure you do your due diligence, do a little bit of homework. We'll take a little break. I'll be back to talk to you about the backcountry.
When it comes to general maintenance or major modifications on your diesel vehicle, look no further than Juan Cheese Off-Road Diesel Performance in Kill Devil Hills. Master mechanic Ryan Walker developed the plan for having his own auto shop over 20 years ago, and today he owns the premium diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks. To have him and his crew take a look under your hood, give him a call today at 252-715-0025 or find him on social media. Juan Cheese Off-Road Diesel Performance, the diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks.
So the backcountry fishing is pretty good. There's still a lot of trout around, but it seems like they're having to work a little bit harder for them. And again, we are in that time period where weather is what needs to be on your mind. Now you go with a professional guide that's licensed and insured and has a track record that you can research a little bit, you're going to be fine. Just like any good, reputable charter boat captain, they do not risk people's lives to catch a fish. And that goes from the Gulf Stream to the Pamlico Sound. So, but if you're doing it yourself, you definitely need to know how quickly the wind shifts around here and how quickly that sound can jump up in a hurry. You know, one of the roughest days I've ever spent on a big sport fishing boat, which happened to be a 47-foot Buddy Davis that I was taking down to Wrightsville Beach. The boat was finished, but it had no hard top and no curtains or anything like that on it. I was taking it down there to have all that stuff installed for Buddy Davis, and we got out in the middle of the Pamlico Sound, and the northwester breezed up about 30. And let me tell you something, at a point, that was all I wanted on that big flared bow sport fishing boat. Of course, it didn't have anything to protect me up on the flying bridge at that stage, but I'd always heard people say that Pamlico Sound can get as rough as any place you'll fish in our part of the world, and that I learned the hard way. So anyway, please be careful if you go out there looking for stuff like that. There's still sheephead being caught. Down the backcountry guys in Hatteras are still catching sheephead, a few trout, a few puppy drum, all that. And one last thing I want to leave you with, as you know, Tony Lombardi helps me almost every day with pier and surf information. He has a website called walkingangler.com, and he writes in our fishing guide for me. He does a lot of things, but he points out, and walkingangler.com shows you and talks to you about all the things you can do without a boat. The Bonner Bridge down there at Oregon Inlet is open. That does require a fishing license. That's one place this time of year you can still catch something. The Daniel Bridge, which is a little bridge on the Manio Nags Head Causeway, has been pretty good lately with speckled trout bites. That's a free and open catwalk style bridge right there on the causeway. Then the next bridge over on the causeway under the Washington Mon Bridge is a really nice wildlife pier. There's restrooms there, and that's another good spot to go this time of year. If you keep working to the west on Highway 64 and go through the north end of Roanoke Island, in other words, drive up through Manio, you'll come to the old bridge, the Old Man's Harbor Bridge, which is the Umstead Bridge. At the far western end of that is the Bebop Pier. And not only is that pier free and a good spot to fish, maybe one of the better spots to fish right now, but it's also right across the street. The bridge abutment is good, is good as well. And keep in mind, we've been having a good rockfish bite in the Sound. I haven't said a whole lot about it. I haven't seen any crowd out there really. The season is still closed, and so that's a little disappointing, but it is what it is. But that's a good spot to go to catch you a rockfish if that's something you're interested in. Don't forget, the piers along 264 through East Lake as you're heading towards the Alligator River have been on these warmer days. There's been a good bite on largemouth bass, and I don't know what else. Usually there's some raccoon perch and some white perch being caught at the same time. So anyway, that's our report as we come out of the Thanksgiving weekend. Everybody now can start focusing on Christmas and Christmas gift ideas, and I'll be talking about that a little bit myself in some episodes coming up. So thank you for tuning in today. I hope you have a great day and that the good Lord blesses you.